one, 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 five, one, two, three, six, one, six, one, seven, seven, five, eight, seven, six, seven, and nine, seven, and 10, 7, 11, 10, and 12, 11, 12, 11, 12, 12, 13, and 14. Decide what you feel out of life. You can't accept love. No.
It's Rabbi coming live from a mothership here. Tony, number 20. Fucking night. Raúl, Vallejo, Sosa, Michael Gonzalez, Nachos, Abraham, Yoli on the electric guitar, Johnny's on the keys, that's the madness on the bass. this one. Before we get started, here's a little bit more of the amazing sponsors that made it all possible. Hi everybody, this podcast is sponsored by Blue Chew. Dick Bruce, Blue Chew isn't just a template, it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. Nothing does it better than Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. We have a special deal for our listeners as always. Get your first Blue Chew free. Just use promo code Tony and $5 for shipping and send. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one the rest of the time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and CD info. Big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. You guys are just tonight's fucking show or what? I bring up two of the funniest human beings on planet Earth to join us here, coming off hot. What I truly believe is our greatest episode ever with Rob Schneider and Donna Collins. Tonight, I present to you another first-time duo on the panel. One of them has one of the newest specials on Netflix, Wet Heat. The other is Kill TV, who is indeed one of the most used and golden ticket winners ever. Early on, ladies, for Dusty Slade. Welcome. This is your first time working together, Dusty. So she loves to roll upstairs for the good old time. I'm excited for you to be here. Dusty has Wet Heat on Netflix, the podcast we're having a good time. And on network, Dusty Slade, one of the best comedians working today. Welcome. Like this big one we have here, you can see the before and after for hair. How you doing down there? And I started just doing it. Captain Phillips. Go back. So to make sure it's straight, you also have a corner light. The coat, fill it off. Machine Martin Phillips does his first step on the show. You don't know, over 300 human beings signed up for the opportunity to be on my show. They're all slammed together in a next door. If I pull one of their names out like I'm doing right now, they get 60 seconds uninterrupted. You know, their time is up when they hear the sound of a kitten. That means they have to wrap it up. Or else they bring out the angry West Hollywood bear. It's just a little noise, and then I conduct an interview. We sit back, we learn more from the people, and we talk to them all together. It's impressive. Anything can happen. You guys ready to start tonight's fucking show? Oh, you got ready to go that first fucking golden ticket winner to start us off with a new minute. This is his first time cashing in on his golden ticket. He won it just a few weeks ago when he came out. Blind as a bat and impressed us all. The first golden ticket of Chris Celia, everybody. Here he comes.
Be funny.
That just gets stuck like a Roomba. I'm just gonna stand there and meet until somebody picks me up. Like, please answer shit. You don't feel like you can hold that shit into your meeting. You never know where another bathroom's ever gonna be, dude. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do shit again. It's something like, I'm the only guy here that has to send his dick pics to his boys first for approval. And then they can be like, why is your dog in the shot? It's all root. It's all root. See you later. Welcome back to the show, Chris. It's not this way. We're over here. There's speakers everywhere. It could be easily confused. I love that you opened with the line, what up? Because they don't know. They thought of something. You were talking about taking a shit. I realized, no, when you were done wiping, guys,
No fucking way. Look who it is. The world's biggest William Montgomery fan. Coming in like the bitch that he is. How you living, big dog? I've missed you. Dude, I'm still going out of style, son. Every day's a holiday, every meal's a feast.
Question for you.
Well, hold on. Keep cool, my babies.
I have a question for you right now.
What is it, big dog?
Say, how much monthly royalty from the bond film? That's the bond.
Oh, you mean Travelocity?
Yeah, but they grew the original one.
Absolutely. Turns out, 69 cents every 69 days. Yeah, for every lawn gnome that is sold in the world, there's just voluntary, but everybody accepts it. Subscription that goes along with it, and it's 69 cents to me every 69 days. So I should be buying a yacht suit. How have you been? Why were you in the hospital? Oh no, what are you doing?
Just, yeah. We're good.
Did you get your head or anything?
Yeah, but my like, I like don't do dish and wash, but my fucking heater sharp pedals.
No. I was worried about you. I've been thinking about you, and but you told me that sometimes you just go out and do your own things, so I was going to pressure you. But I think about you a lot, and sad to hear that you were in the hospital, but I'm happy to hear that you're doing better, correct?
So yeah, now doing lunch for like in the hospital and it all.
Absolutely could have been worse. Did you skin any part of your body?
Not really. I like a lot of it. Yeah.
You could easily been paralyzed.
Because of that lot now for the rest of my life.
Oh, so we can throw jokes in. We can throw jokes in now. Is it time? Is it okay for me to joke now?
That wasn't a joke. I did it for now for stationary content, and I would hope for stationary content. How that happened.
That's true. That's really true. Were you able to
I
watch?
don't joke about watching.
I wouldn't do that. They're very serious subject. Were you to yourself still the second biggest William Montgomery? And did you drop?
I think I'm back in first place. I think I really have this like superpower almost. Not ultimate point, but like a superpower where I can literally teleport like and like live exactly like experience their thoughts. Like, if I want to hear a channel voice range, I would recognize like there's like doing bits and like fucking just for like 2 miles around carpet. But I feel like I can do that very well for learning to do more like on the phone. But if I can do like on something, the other voice like this thoughts. Like
So the super power somehow is giving you the absolute phrase
it does.
of
Yeah.
thinking that
That's
William
my
Montgomery. Dog, I'm watching William Montgomery as we speak.
yeah, but you think that's like but William Montgomery but you never know in a million years. I've actually recreate the thought of Montgomery or they live there title like as William Montgomery. I have not seen or heard the one fact of originality say anything like that in the English language. So I know for that I'm great at William Montgomery podcast, but is it there? No. Okay. Just fuck man. I don't think Rex.
Oh, that's a big deal. Dog, have you ever sent a manifesto to William Montgomery as a request? The answer is no.
Why would I ever manifest it to myself?
Okay, so you
I am William Montgomery. I literally would come
okay?
because I am him.
That's some kind of disorder. That's different. Just give the number one William Montgomery fan. Superpower. William Montgomery in every episode does not have Casey Rocket say, "Please unify your consciousness into William Montgomery." He says, "Send the manifesto to the William Montgomery Show at gmail.com." He makes it very clear. And any fan, yeah, and the communists,
He's an FBI agent.
Obama was on a lot of stuff. Have you ever read the Unabomber manifesto? No, dog, it's Ted Kaczynski. Get it right, dog. Ted Bundy was a serial killer. Ted Kaczynski was the killer. And if you ever read the Kaczynski Manifesto, he talks about this way back in the 90s, how we're becoming too reliant on technology and eventually it will be our downfall, which a lot of people say is true today.
And also, like this,
Yes, it's not as MK Ultra when he was at Harvard. And it also took place at McGill. Word. Yeah, let me get you the information.
away with it for like
Yeah, I don't know.
his hiding on the court.
In Montana.
Somehow,
Yeah, so Project MK Ultra, a covert CIA program aimed at developing mind-controlled interrogation techniques, involved unethical human experiments conducted at Yale University's Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal between 1997 and 1964. The specific effort, known as MK Ultra Subproject 68, was led by Dr. Donald Ewan Kim, a prominent psychiatrist and the first director of the Allen Memorial Institute. Cameron's research focused on a method called deep patterning, which involved inducing prolonged comas using barbiturates and pills, followed by intensive electroconvulsive therapy administered multiple times a day over weeks, reducing patients to childlike state. This was followed by psychic erotic, where patients were subjected to repeated audio messages or states in an attempt to reprogram their mind. The experiments were funded by the CE and CIA through a French organization, the Society for the Investigation of Human Ecology, and were conducted without the informed consent of the patients, many of whom were suffering from multiple mental conditions. The treatments caused severe and lasting harm, including permanent memory loss, confusion, loss of personal identity, and inability to perform basic tasks. The Canadian government also alleged to have provided funding for these experiments. The existence of these experiments was largely concealed, with most records destroyed in 1973 by CIA Director Richard Helm. The truth emerged in the 1970s following Senate hearings and media coverage, which revealed the program's scope and involvement of institutions like McGill. Despite this, McGill University's official archives have not confidently acknowledged Cameron's role in MK Ultra, focusing instead on his professional reputation. In recent years, survivors and their families have pursued legal action. In July 2025, Superior Court Justice Dominic Poulin realized a class action lawsuit against Royal Victoria Hospital, McGill University, and the Canadian government, alleging that these institutions enabled and funded the experiment, causing severe and lasting harm. The lawsuit, which includes the immediate family successors and descendants of the victim, is for the violation of human rights and bodily integrity. The federal government and McGill University have since filed motions to dismiss the case, arguing the claims are time-barred, but the legal battle continues. Indigenous activists have also been advocating for the right to search the site, citing the possibility of unmarked graves of children who are among the subjects. Did you not know that about your government and about McGill University, the preeminent institution of your place? Yeah, well, that's why you come here, to learn about Canada. All right, there's another Canadian fact. You ready for this? Big time, big time. My friend, I have a question for you. I defined Newfie. I defined Newfie. All right, you ready?
I track. So I forgot that we were all together with our minor exploration.
I'll give you this. I'll give you, even though this is incorrect, because you didn't even know about it. But truthfully, I remember saying, "Oh wow, that was like very goofy of you," and you're like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, "Goofy. It's like a derogatory statement towards people from Newfoundland." You're like, "I've never heard of that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so. Let me go to Urban Dictionary and see," and it's true. And then I'm the one who said, "You know, how cool would it be in the future if people watch my stream instead of Newfie being derogatory? It was actually a very positive thing for someone and something." So I'll tell you what, even though you didn't even know what it was. I do remember.
I agree 100,000% with everything you just said. The only reason why I was taking on like I said and with the credit, if you weren't talking at that time, then there's a good probability that conversation wouldn't have come up.
100%.
Declaration would not have occurred.
100%. So
Therefore, I think
I'm just listen to this. So I'm going to give you 49%, which is far more credit than you deserve in this conversation, and I'll take 51% of the credit.
I think human history will not once Reddit actually comes on this, it's gonna be like dry and lighting up.
I agree. I also submitted the term JOR, YOR, to Urban Dictionary for jerking yourself off raw. Oh, it worked. It worked. And here it is. JOR, jerking yourself off raw. Dog, you are going to go to, it says, Dog, are you going to go or are you going to JOR? Question mark by best rabbi ever. August 6, 2025. How do you like that?
The Council of Dictionary Society, the Congress of Christian Services,
It's a phrase. And I actually didn't know until this very moment that that actually went through. When I originally submitted it, August 6th or whatever, I did not think it was going to be accepted. That's the second term that I have to my credit on Urban Dictionary. I'm very proud of it. Oh, wait. Do I have that on there? You know what? Let's see. No, I don't think I put that one. I should. That's an excellent word. SOP, SOP. It's female. The other one, they're like, what the fuck is that? It is a anglicized Hebrew term instead of Rebbitzin, which is like multiple wives of rabbis in Hebrew. In Sephardic, it would be Rebbetzinot, and in Nazi, it would be Rebbetzinot. But since Rebbetzinot sounds so much like Rebbetzin, um, I call it Rebbetzinot, which is just like a collective group of female wives of rabbis. Like a collective group of rabbis is called the rabbinate. And that's used all the time. But the Rebbetzin equivalent of that is not used. But I will have to put on their socks. You know, see, if I did put it on, um, yeah, no, it totally is. But it got it got um it got added. So hold on a second. I'm gonna add stop right now. Stop. Female ejaculate.
It's like the conflict.
Yeah. So how is it used sentence?
Or
That woman is, I guess it's stop and topic, but that woman, okay, but there is so much stop in the minute. There's so much. Oh, that stop. That I'm interesting. That woman. That woman. So stopping is really the big one, but stopping. So stop is female. Wait, hold on. Female ejaculate. Okay, stop is that man made me stop. It should be female ejaculate. Used commonly used as a female equivalent. Female commonly used in place of the comp. It, okay, that's right. Replaces the word comp. That man thought so hard that I used are stopping what as a fact. Stop, stopping, stopping, um, female ejaculate. Uh, oh, fuck. Oh, it's submitted. Okay, the definition. All right, great job. That one I get 100% on. Okay, because I talk about those. All right. So before we play, I have some questions for you. Are you ready for my questions?
murder the stop.
Not if, but how funny were the memes did they say? No, go fuck yourself with that Instagram bullshit. I knew you were gonna be too fucking good for me, thinking that. I created by hand a William Montgomery meme and a Nathan Fielder. Yo! Voice brand. So go to the William Montgomery meet. It has him with hair.
I saw
Absolutely. I recognize that. There you go. I, I figured something was going on because normally you would have, yeah, that that was really creative, I thought. And um, okay, so that was really creative. I'm gonna read it to you. Riser, thank you for being my nephew this fan. Love William the Vanilla Gumby. P.S. You're a little bitch, constantly J yours, and sucks at minigolf. P.S. You're not. And I thought that was really good. And then it's like post. It's like a French term. Just it's like not post mutation, but um, it's postscript. But I already did PS. PS was you're a little bitch who constantly J yours and sucks dick in minigolf. PPS postscript, and it means you're done. Or it states you're done. We're done. Now, the next one is this. My name is Nathan Fielder. Nathan got the picture of him in his graduation shoot. My name is Nathan Fielder, and I graduated from one of Canada's best business grades. Although I checked each and every episode for multiple years, Riser still did not know I graduated from the University of Victoria. The plan is that they are good at hair. They suck at all Play-Doh games, especially mini. Then I sent you because they took time. You have no idea how long it took me to type all that little type in there and make it look centered, so you can still see his face. Well, consider me Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, the first documented people that ever climbed Everest, because yes, I did it on my phone. Okay, and then the next thing I sent you, which was really interesting, which you were kind of a dick about, is that do you remember how I always talk about my stream and its importance, especially when combined with AI? Please check out this random video of mine from last year. This website perfectly summarizes the timestamps nearly instantaneously. This is just the beginning. And it was amazing. It goes through every song that I sang, it goes through everything that I talked about in a lot of depth. And this is just its infancy. And then you wrote, or you could not be lazy, a lazy fuck. Like, I'm only going to let that slide because you're in the hospital. But when I read that, I was like, or you could not be a lazy fuck and upload a proper lecture. Duh. I was just showing you the technology. I was not saying that this is the epitome of anything that I do. And you come through like and say AI might not select the talking points that you or I would like personally, which I understand, but it's very different. It was very good. So with those things being said, and then you review, you should know that you were missed, especially as we move to William Montgomery. And did you watch William Montgomery's most?
Let me just add what I said. I'm going to call it they're not into what
Consider
what I meant. To clarify what I was saying is that I think that we're a right pro of policy ideal. I think that yes, where the technology stands currently is impressive for summarize things, but I was concerned about the potential for a what critical discussion about favors there and to that overboard.
I completely understand that. And you do include in your statement that you have the brain for it. Like, you could do it. I was just, I think we were on two wavelengths where I was saying, like, hey, look, if you just take one of my random streams and put it in here, look at all of the data that it gathers from it. And you were saying, like, well, yeah, or you could just not. What'd you say?
Shot it down.
Yeah.
They're not talking about jargon.
Well, so here's the cool thing about it. I think it enhances it. And it's really funny because if you take one of these streams and then like when I play Zoot, let's just say, it does like a play by play of like Rabbi is beating the garbage out of Zoot, and Zoot is getting frustrated. Rabbi has said that they have won 14 games in a row. Zoot has not won a mini golf game in 14 games. Zoot is happening to come back. I mean, it's like it gets a play by play of everything that happens. Now, what I did notice is it does not do the video per se. It's not like watching the video and saying what it's doing, but that will come. I think everybody knows that. What it is doing is it
unfortunate that you're not like maybe from now on or something somehow share your screen and just or get it recorded so that I mean it probably requires Zoom like but just be able to see like first page of the screen on how to like 20 seconds require inches down like the screen kind of like not hit it.
Yeah. Well, if anything, my ceiling camera gets a lot of it, and then also the reflection off my glass.
Right, AI and
for sure, no doubt.
I think that they're probably like very powerful thing that they say AI together and work on that. But I guarantee that like it's like a software but stuff that like probably go viral.
He did. Did I tell you, or did he tell you? He did stand-up comedy.
The last I heard about that is like it's about to do it for like a month.
Yeah, he did it. He's done it twice now. This will be the third time tonight. He hasn't updated me, but yeah, I haven't heard him do it. The first time he did it,
You recorded it?
of course not. I guarantee I'm gonna record it. Like, I'll record it. You heard me say this to him multiple times. Like, all you have to do is put the recording on your phone and put your phone in your pocket. That's all you have to do. You know that, right? He was like, I won't forget. And like every time I'm like, did you record it? And he's like, oh. And I'm like, why? And he's like, either I forgot or it's not because of that. He's self-conscious about it. He's just self-conscious about it. I understand. The first time he did it, I mean, of course, he always thinks he did a good job, which I'm not going to say he didn't. He has really controversial material, though, and he said somebody came up to him afterward and said he did a really good job. His topics, I think he did like 1 or 2 minutes. His topics were Kanye West and mental health. The second time he did it, his topics were. His topic was
What was the first topic?
Kanye West. Correct. And the second topic was mental health. He has been obsessed with mental health. To the point where I have to tell him in his conversations, we're not going to talk about it. Because if not, he'll talk to me for 3 or 4 or 5 hours straight just on mental health. And it would be like, I mean, I'm telling you, this is what it's like. I told him this. I told him, I said, Zoot, if somebody told you that super autism was a thing, you would think he had it. Like, he has this issue that anybody who tells him that he may have something, he thinks he has it. The only thing that I think that he really has is perhaps he has Tourette's syndrome. That's definitely true. The other things that these doctors have said that he has, they're just in his mind. Like, literally, they said he has everything that he can have. And I just don't agree with that. I spend more time with him than anyone outside his family, at least virtually or whatever you consider. So I've gotten to know him very well. And it would be as if I said to him, did you know that 60% of people's arms itch during the day and sometimes at night? And then he would start talking about how much his arm itches. It's like the fact that somebody said something gets into his mindset that he has. And
I think what that you know so much that there's something like but also probably and maybe it's not scientifically that autism that's where his periscope like reading feel like that's what
I'm in agreement with you. And
but I think when you listen to him talk, you think, oh, it's real so normal, like nothing's wrong with it. But personally, because if I were to meet that,
it doesn't sound totally normal, but I know what you're saying. He does have Tourette's syndrome. There's no doubt in my mind that that is. And that's fine. Although I feel very badly for him. He said it to us one time. Yeah, I don't know if you remember when he said it. He said that he had a girlfriend. But if you had a million guys lined up, all million wouldn't look like you, but not a single one of them would have what's going on in your mind, which was like super. And
yeah.
I just thought that that was not
Cool.
well, it was after it though. And
A lot of say about food.
Oh, definitely.
Positive.
Definitely.
Greek coast, but it's not live.
No, when he comes in here, I love it. I really do. He brings me joy and fun, and he can be funny. But again, he's got this issue. If at any point he and all the things that something's wrong with him, so and
Jane is compulsive disorder, but maybe it's not even that. It's being like completely finished about things in your mind and like not being able to shake those like very powerful that brain.
it's true. I mean, it's a form of hypochondria where and I understand Ford literally paid to diagnose people with things. Anyway, so I used to tell him I don't want to talk about mental health because I don't think it's healthy for you. And then I gave him about a month or a month and a half where I would let him talk about it, and now I've had to go back to no more. Let's talk about cryptocurrency. Let's talk about Schwab. Let's talk about the street. Let's talk about sunshine. Let's talk about catching grass. Let's talk about all the good things that there are in the world. But I don't want to talk about mental health with you because I don't think it's healthy for you. It's fine if somebody wants to come and discuss it once, twice, but not every time. That doesn't get healthy. So there's that. Okay. So then just a moment. Then I said to him, too, because he really wants to be in this television show. It's it's not Australia's Got Talent, but it's similar, and it's like a really big show in Australia. And he's already tried to be on twice, and they wouldn't let him do it. And then they said, if you fail at doing it again, you can't try out anymore. Basically, this is the last opportunity.
Go back first to the stand up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So he has this video of us. I don't know if steal his material. This is a chin
Tell you if you recall, he was like that he told you about.
Yeah. So he says something like, if you want Kanye West, but his big joke recently, and again, this don't agree with it to anybody watching this now or in the future, but there's this joke that he did the second time that he was up, and he said people laugh, but maybe it's just not making, or I'm not feeling it correctly, whatever. But he says, wouldn't it be interesting if you die and you basically get to find out all the secrets of the world, and you find out that God was really autistic? Wouldn't that be a surprise to you? So I think that was the joke from the first time he did stand up. The joke from the second time he did stand up was, would it be interesting if you were to see everything that's going on in the world God is most likely autistic, but could also have Down syndrome. If I had to choose between the two, I think that God is autistic because he doesn't give out enough hugs to have Down syndrome. It's something like that, and I'm not doing it full justice, but I don't think it's a very full job.
I love the setup.
Are you
I
serious?
think that's amazing. I know I'm being good. I don't understand. But I'm down like hard.
Okay, hey, and again, maybe it does have an audience. Some people laugh at it. I find it offensive. Now, I'm not saying that I have thin skin or anything like that. I think it's a low blow. I don't think it's
I
cool.
mean, that's like a lot of stand-up comedy, right? That's
100%.
like when all these superpower people.
100%. Well, so he told those jokes. What was his Kanye West joke? It was, I forget, but like when he said the joke, I immediately did not think that's the worst joke I've ever heard. I just said, so when you're giving material, imagine you have a room of 100 people. You want to make them laugh, right? I said, yeah. Okay, so it's best to make them laugh with humor that is effective on 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, or 90%, or even 100%. You'd rather get more laughs out of a larger group of people than harder laughs out of a small group of people.
I've heard say the opposite. Not that you want to like spend like out of the crowd, but I think like it's a double
It is. Well,
like cut deep and make people laugh really good. Not cut deep. Personally, I think that there's a lot of fans, and I'm gonna cut it because I want. And if you're with me, you're with me. If you're not with me and get offended, you're all gonna be like upset because of the word cut another joke. I don't know.
I get that. I get that. What I'm saying though is he wants to be on a television show. And so for television, cutting deeply is not a good idea if it offends 90% of the audience. Much better for television.
Yeah, we're talking about handbook though. We're talking handbook.
Well, we were. The reason why he wants to. And so I at least was, and the audition is in January. And so he's doing the stand up routine every 2 weeks. So he did a, like 4 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and then this week. And they just trying to tell him that, look, you only have one last chance at this. You failed the previous two because they didn't think your humor was right or whatever. If you're going to do it again, why don't you just try to make some jokes that don't offend people and make a large group of people laugh? There's a better chance that they'll put you on television for that. Because I don't care what country you're in, they're not going to put you on television if you're making Down syndrome.
No, that's very pragmatic.
So that's what I told him. Now, he had this interesting, and I wish he was here to be able to tell you these things. So, dude, if you ever watch this in the future, I wish you were here to be able to tell these things. I'm very happy that Reds is not your joke. Funny, that's great. Or your other, and I'm really trying to think of the funny joke. It wasn't that. I could see how it maybe would have made like 50% of the audience laugh, but another 50% might have thought it was cringe. And maybe I'm wrong. Here I am watching Tony as you came in, and a lot of that is very suit-esque. Okay, so what was the Kanye West joke?
An Australian shows are short particularly.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Just from what I know. Okay, so his Kanye West joke was something like, maybe I'll remember anything else. Okay, so then he had something that happened to him this past weekend, which I told him is a really interesting anecdote, and he could turn it into a bit. Because I explained to him, look, too, that's cool that you have these jokes, but that's not what a television producer is going to want to hear. And I asked him, aside from racism and mental health, what other kinds of jokes do you have? And he didn't have them. So I'm like, you got to have more than that. And so I tried to talk him into like just some street jokes, meaning jokes that aren't attributed to any individual, but they're just jokes that people think are funny. I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too. Now that is not necessarily a street joke. That's a joke of his name is but it's just like a short joke that's fun. And he's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to. What is this person saying? Okay. So, he had this. Do you remember he was selling solar? So he had.
I mean, it wasn't funny. No, it wasn't funny.
Right. Okay. Oh,
Yeah. I think they have more. I don't
agree. The comedian's Mitch Hedberg. Okay. So he had incident that happened over this weekend. So he was at he was at the mall. He said he was in the city. He was going to see a friend at a casino. And guess who he sees? The guy who owns the solar company with his girlfriend. Just like total coincidence. And he went up to the guy. He started observing them. And the girl went into some store. And Zoo goes into the store and says to the girlfriend, hey, I hope you know that your boyfriend's a big liar and he's broke and your relationship isn't going to work with him. He owes me $1,000 and he's been dodging me ever since. He returned my calls. I just wanted you to know that. And she had really nothing to say. She just was kind of a shock. And then Zoo went up to the guy and said, hey, I hope you know that I just told your girlfriend that you don't pay your employees and that I don't think that you're a good boyfriend and your relationship isn't going to last. And this guy just said, fuck you. And it sounds like completely, I will say this, Zoo sometimes makes stories up. Like he told me that with his stand-up comedy, he won an award for it. And I was like, oh, they don't give awards for open mic. He's like, I know, but if they did, I would have won it. I had to like come on this. But I'm not saying that he won. Oh, I agree. I think that he did it. What I'm trying to say is, do I think he embellished some aspects of it? Very well. We all embellish things. It's like, I don't
part of it, do you think embellished?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if he told her that the relationship in the last. I don't know if he said that. He said he did, so I believe that he said he. But it was just kind of like this. Very. It was a. I mean, I don't know.
On that, like
Well, yeah, but that guy who owns the company doesn't even live in the same state. So it was just very coincidental that this guy just so happened to be at a place where it was with his girlfriend. I'm not saying it didn't happen. If you watch it, I think it did happen. That's why I'm saying it. That's why I didn't come here like, do you think that's for this lie that he told him? No. I think it happened. I'm just saying the way that he said it was just like exactly what I would have wanted him to say. I was just shocked that he said that in such a way. And um, and so he told his friend who was working security at the casino there to just keep an eye on this guy. And I said, dude, that is an amazing story. If I were you, I would make that into a bit. It's a good 1 minute story or whatever. Basically, say, has anybody here ever heard of selling solar? Yeah, it's very common. Okay, well, I got a job doing that. And it turned out that the person was supposed to pay him every day. And just coincidentally, this weekend, I saw him at a local mall with his girlfriend. And I went up to the girlfriend and told him I didn't think that it was a person that he squelches on his contracts and that I didn't think that they were going to work out. And I told the owner of the company the same thing. And all he had to say was, fuck you. So in exchange for $1,000 that week, he basically lost his relationship. And it goes to show you it's just a lesson that you put out there to ensure that you say you're going to do, or you may have some retribution. It doesn't have to be super fun, but it's a really interesting story. And like tighten up, like you could throw more punchlines into it. I was just telling that story, and I didn't think about punchlines, but like it made you laugh just there, and it's kind of one of those perfect like stories where back. I mean, it's like something that could be in a movie. And, it's a Seinfeld episode where
Yeah, I mean, if like, you have to or like, an whatnot, I think
it went over a crowd, and it's an exciting story. I mean, I'm reading it. Anyway, I told him, if you tighten that story up and add some jokes to it, exactly. That's hilarious. Exactly. 100% joke. Yeah, exactly. Something along those lines. And uh, he said he would think about it. Anyway, I told him, look, if you want to do the stand-up comedy thing, he wants. Do you know that his cousin has a Netflix special? Seriously, he has a cousin. I don't remember. I don't think he's actually told me this, but they're like a professional comedian, and and I said to him, instead of going for these like game show like shows or whatever, why don't you just ask your cousin for advice? And he's like, I should do that. It's like, well, that would be the first thing that I would do. Anyway, um, I, I thought that I was proud of him for that story. In fact, I told him, dude, all the time you come in here and you're like, gonna hit your shot, and I give you shit and say, hey, remember that time you said you were gonna hit your shot? Yeah, like have to remember, like basically, but I said, that story, that was really great, really, really good story, and it, and some jokes to it. It's like a perfect 2, 3 minute, maybe even 5 minute way that you can tell, and then you're starting to get a routine. But uh, so and we even like planned Monday nights. Monday night does he have until this Australian television, and it was like 8 Mondays. And I said to him, like have to go every 2 weeks or whatever. And if you want to get better, you need to record your sets. That's what most of these people do. And I just there's this fear that people have they don't like hurting themselves recording. It's nature. And he's not somebody who wants to be a traditional comic where you work at it and you get a good routine and you like try to build it up with punchlines. He just thinks he's so good that he can just off the cuff win everybody over and make everybody think he's really funny. I'm not saying it means he can't. It's just um, it's
I think this is like big disconnect.
right.
I mean, this is the thing, provides we can put it off. And I guess he finally built up the courage
Well, and
a lot more.
I told him that. That's more courage and
Talk to his, I didn't talk to his cousin or literally every stand Joey did or whoever. I think that's a real modifying it. Like we're constructing it, trying to analyze it from all different angles. But they finally produce material as right.
that's true. So most comedians record their sets and then go back and put it on the Joey Diaz does not record his sets, but he's he's kind of a room comedian. And also he's done his specials, both of which were considered failures. So it kind of tells you that like if you want to be really, really good and have a real tight set, like you have to have the rhythm done really well. And I think that his cousin would say the same thing. Okay, but I did tell him how proud I was of for having the courage to do stand-up comedy. He blamed me the first time, of course. He came up here. It was like 3 a.m, and he said he was going live streaming it here. And I was like, dude, the next day, don't rely on me to record your set. If you're able to go into Discord with your phone, just go to your recording app and hit the button. I mean, it's very simple. And I think it was just making up a excuse. The other thing is, I would tell you this, I would be afraid of this. If I were doing stand up and I did it, and let's say there was laughter, but it didn't get picked up by the microphone, I would say, people were laughing at that part, but it just didn't come off that way. Whatever reason he wants to do it, wants to record it, or doesn't want to, he really wants to be on this television show. And I explained to him, it's like, it's not a show. Look, I bet I could find Australia. No.
So it's not a so then it's
No, it is. It's a TV show.
if he perform stand up,
Wait, it's not a TV show. I would have remembered it.
so it's literally him doing
I think it might be like Australian state, Australian side or something like that. But he did anything I like on it. So that
I thought I was like hosting like a fucking home renovation show or
no, it's nothing like that. And he, yeah, it's not. Okay, so anyway, he has the desire very much. He like, I asked him, like, that's what you want to do? It's like, yeah, no, he's wanted to do like 10 different things over the course of he worked in high finance, in security, those whatever, whether he did or not, I don't know. He did work solar, that's true.
actually
Private, yeah, that's high. And so here's what I told him to do. I was like, Zoot, there's nothing wrong. He would come in here every night for like 4 or 5 hours to the point my sleep schedule revolves around Zoot to some extent. Because when he comes, I have so much fun sleep with him that I'll just stay up all night and it just goes up my house. But I said to him, Zoot, why don't you apply for positions in your area? And he's like, well, and I said this because you literally have nothing to do in your day except think about all the mental shit that's going on. But if you had a normal job, you wouldn't be thinking about that stuff so much. You'd be engaged in your position. And so I tried to get him to apply to McDonald's. And it took me some time, but he finally said that he did. And Burger King and their Walmart, like BW, their Burger King is Hungry Jack, their McDonald's is Mock. And I'm sure he'll be like, they didn't call me back or whatever. And I'll be like, you applied to 3 places. Like, when I needed a job, I applied to 1,000 different places. And guess what? I got a job the next day. And when I needed other jobs, even okay, you can think that, but that's not how people hire anymore. They hire through online career management software, and it's a numbers game. You just have to apply a lot, and you'll get choices. You just, I'm telling you from experience. I did that whole thing. Oh, go in, shake hands, look them in the eye, all that garbage. That's fine. And I'm like, that can't work. The best way is networking, and like having a connection. But if you don't have a connection, I'm telling you, if you apply to every job in your area, literally every single one, you will get one of them. It's just a number. You just can't be frustrated if you apply to 100 places and you don't get a job, or 500 places and you don't get a job. If you take 1,000 or 10,000, you'll eventually get sometimes. Someone will take a risk on it. And so I explained that to him. I explained to him when I needed a job, I applied to 1,000 places in one day using Indeed. All you had to press a button on a phone is very easy to do. The next day, I had 3 interviews lined up. And job in my first interview, job paid $100,000 and allowed me to get a lot of good skills to then go and work remote jobs. I needed remote jobs for like 600 of them, and I got a really good remote job within like 2 or 3 weeks. It did not take long. And I'm not saying that. I have a good resume too. There's no doubt about that. But I applied for more difficult positions. He's just applying for entry level positions. And I explained to him, I don't need a McDonald's. I can tell you, I had to go into it one time to use the bathroom before a job interview. It's not something that I really have. I wouldn't normally have a lot of knowledge of. However, I do because I'm in their subreddit. And the reason why I'm in their subreddit is McDonald's is a lot like America. And a lot of corporate policies come from there. And like 10% of the United States workforce has worked at McDonald's. And I've known some people who have worked at McDonald's who were, like, they worked there a long time ago. And they were vice presidents of companies. It's like a really good way to learn a good set of skills at a young age. And I said to him, I was reading about people who worked at Australia's McDonald's, and like they were older than he was. They were like 33, 35, and they liked it. And so I explained to him, like, don't look down to those jobs. Those are highly valued in society. Anyone with a job is highly valued. So he went and he applied. He had to like make a video conference with them. I wanted these kind of things. So that's really what he needs. He needs a job. He is just going to drive himself bonkers without a job without any passion. And he wanted to be a stripper. And I was really proud of him. Exactly, that's another one. He worked really, really hard. I mean, every single day he would come in here, tell me his body fat, and whether he had a six pack or not, and all these other things. And I encouraged him. That's great, dude. Why don't you go to the place where you're supposed to strip and tell them that you're ready? Because they told him originally to get a six pack and then come back. And so he got a six pack. And I said, okay, well, did you go back? And he said, something like, I'm not going to go back. I said, why not? And he said that there was a girl who he used to know who basically sabotaged him with the guy who owned the strip club. What do you mean? And he's like, I don't know exactly what happened, but basically she said that Zoot was just not a good fit for this kind of role or something like that. And so they weren't. So I explained to him, okay, well, that's not the only strip you could work. Or you could work as a private stripper, a private dancer, whatever. There's like a bunch of things you can do if you have a really good vibe. And don't get down on yourself. Continue to work, apply, and exactly. All of those things. And he started to bulk up and instead of being like really thin or whatever it happens, he doesn't have it anymore. But it's not like he couldn't another month and get it back. But I feel sorry for him because he keeps getting derailed by things, and it's just unfortunate that these things happen. But okay, so anything else about you? I was really happy for a few things for stand up comedy. So telling that boss guy to shove it, telling his girlfriend or whatever. And I thought that was really cool. And wanted to be on the show. And I wanted to be on the show. Okay. With that being said, how life's going in Rabbi now? Of course you do. All right. So we'll talk about my bots. Those are always important. But we have the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 EU fantasy football that recently started. It is amazing. Riser, I cannot tell you, like, unless you did it, you wouldn't realize how much fun it is. But it is so much fun. It, like, normally I don't, like, I'm not that much. It's just, like, not, I think a lot of it's rigged and all these other things. However,
I can send you this thing. It's like an NFL game. There's like nice looks. And when we show the footage, he's kind of rip off the ball and
yeah, sure. No, they used to make a product, though, of 1970s to 1990s called Stickum that was literally like an adhesive that used to be legal in the game, so it could be that as well. Um, but I'm always right. I get that. I get that. Okay, I'll watch it just for you right now. And I can see what happens. I've heard the same VA, although I don't know if there's that much truth to it. Um, well, get stuck to football. And you know what's really interesting is welcome. How are you? What's going on? So, aka Lay's favorite chips. What's good? Dude, this thing is stuck on this motherfucker's hand. No, no, we were talking about another friend of ours named. Play. It's okay. No, I. You don't even know my friend. This is Brandon. Brandon. This is Rising, but doesn't know anything about you. We're talking about another friend of ours who you'll meet. He's a very nice guy. He wants to be a stand-up comedian. He also wants to be a bunch of things. And we were just talking about him. We were not talking about him. Hello, Riser. Dog. Dog. I'm so glad you sent me this. Riser doesn't like football. That's true. Riser, this video that you sent, I completely see it and think that it could be a thing. That was really interesting.
Wild.
That is absolutely wild. I love it. I love that kind of stuff.
Very
Very suspicious. Absolutely. Um, and it also makes you.
but like
It makes you realize, like, perhaps how some of these guys make these one-handed catches, or like these fingertip catches that normally you wouldn't be able to get.
that's what I was gonna say, like I think like the Steve Marco, but it's probably easy to just like kind of throw one hand montage on YouTube and then like just see like how it's like a good 40 yard not definitely like the ball has a lot of energy something that and I'm assuming those NFL balls are freaking weighted. Kind of one of those. I guess that there's like a glove, but it seems like there's a possibility that you know, like, I want to know how many bounce off their hands that they get and how many.
Well, there was a whole. This was proven. It's called Inflategate with the New England Patriots under Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, where they would deflate the balls to make them easier to catch.
Yeah, no, I heard about that. I mean, I also watched the documentary or like the video on a company that like responsible for making all of the football and also all the football, like college football. They were football
Is it Wilson?
different budget. I'm not sure, but the company and the different places. Maybe not different places, but they finished other different membership and there's customization stuff they do to the football to make it customized basically for the quarterback. I thought it was all like one standard ball.
Right. Yeah, no, they're different. And they just changed the rule this year that kickers normally had to use like a new ball every game that they would get like 45 minutes before kickoff. But now they've made it so that they can kick old balls, which should make them go further because they're like broken in. I mean, I don't know exactly how it works, but It's like basically there's some push. Yeah. And there have been theories in NBA that there are that are sometimes put in basketballs, and they can turn the magnet on at the rim because the rim is metal. So, like, if they want those crazy shots to go in,
No way.
well, I don't know if that.
That's a bit strict commentary.
Yeah.
That would make sense. So that's what makes a lot.
Well, whether it's true or not, I mean, I don't know. But um, yeah, I mean, the big one that's true that they would do a lot is they have a thing called the chain kick in the NFL, where they come out with a chain and measure whether the ball is like inches away or whatever from a first down or a touchdown or whatever.
I didn't know you played for that.
Well, now they're saying they're doing that, but they just show an animation, which you don't really know if the animation is accurate or not. It is just like the tennis replay or the soccer offside one. It's just like that, which lends people to be like, there could just be someone at the NFL headquarters who just says that the thing is 2 inches short and types in 2 inches, and then it's 2 inches short. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no TV. Like, I can't. I don't know what how.
100%. The NFL did start putting GPS things into the football, I think. But that was a few years ago. Anyway, these games can just be rigged. And so for many years, I was just with. Okay,
That's a hard.
so the NFL has implemented a tracking system for footballs using RFID technology. That happened in 2017, 2018. So there are chips inside of them. Okay, so how do they do it with the player's knowledge? Well, like look at the Tom Brady inflate gate, the deflate gate issue, where basically like the referees know the balls are like not inflated all the way. They're touching the ball before every snap, but they're just putting out and because the New England Patriots keep winning, and that's good for rate allowing it to happen. So does that make sense? Or there was um, another controversy that the New England Patriots had called Spygate, where they were recording their opponents, specifically the New York Jets. They were recording their practices, and you're not allowed to do that. So when I say
the Canadian soccer team, one of the great growing up the old
right, I think well talked about this. Yeah, I'd heard of that as well. And okay, so with that being said, do I think that it's being done with the NFL's permission? Yeah. In the players' permission? Yeah. Here's why. The NFL works on revenue sharing. If your team goes 0-17, loses every single game, your team is still going to make billions of dollars because they share they share 80% of the revenue. So Technically, we could say that you have a bad team. Your team, you're the owner of, let's say, the whatever team you have. And we say to you, look, the Dallas Cowboys, we want them to win this year. If they win, we're all going to make more money. Your mouth, because it's going to make you richer than if your crap team wins. Does that make sense? Well,
And also, is that true
Hold
for sport? Because you're against the that
yeah, so that one's baseball's different.
Rabbi connection between like the city.
Hold on. They're in revenue. So the other owners know that when the Yankees are good, they all make more money. So it's in their best interest to allow the Yankees to do well. Now, with the Jets and the Giants, there are multiple teams in the New York area, which waters down their fans south. That isn't to say there aren't multiple teams in the New York area in baseball, but the Mets aren't just as big as a draw as the Yankees are, and thus you get these really powerful teams. Like now, you've got the Yankees aren't as good anymore, but they're not like the Dodgers. The Dodgers do well. All of the owners make a lot more money. The Tampa Bay Rays win. Why? Because Los Angeles did the Tampa Bay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but really, don't
Yeah, but they don't have as big of a draw. And their team, they're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. In order to have the city of Anaheim build up a stadium, it's part of the contractual agreement that they have that the name Anaheim has to be in their name. But I can tell you that, like, even as an Orange County resident, it was hard to find uh, any any fan, and it still is, even though they've done a lot better recently. But, like when
the Dodgers too, right? The Dodgers are probably the better.
yeah, that's why. And that's why. When I was a kid, everybody was in LA was Dodgers fan, and it was really hard to find an Angels fan. Then in about 2005 or so, 2007, something like that, the Angels did well for a couple seasons, and people were Angels fans. And it's back to the point where very few people are Angels fans. Everybody's a Dodgers fan, especially because the Dodgers took the Angels' best player, Shohei Ohtani. And I mean, even in Orange County, which is where the Angels are located, most people are still Dodgers. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. You're okay.
And counties.
You, I mean, it's just
In Los Angeles, what was that?
Los Angeles County.
So they're like,
Yeah, there are three teams very close. So there's the San Diego Padres, which are in San Diego. There's the Los Angels, which are in Anaheim, which is Orange County, and then there's the Los Angeles Dodgers, which are Los Angeles.
that's local California.
Well, Oakland's moving to Las Vegas. So, but even still, that makes a team that's even closer to Los Angeles than the A's are. Meaning, like within a 3-hour drive.
San Francisco. San Francisco.
Right. I mean, I'm saying like within a 3 hour, I could basically go to 4 different. concentration here.
Pre-dub.
Well, with that said, the idea is this: we allow larger markets, Los Angeles, San Francisco, even Chicago, New York City. Those teams, if they do well, we make more money. Now there are some exceptions to this, like St. Louis, which isn't that big of a city, because there aren't a lot of teams in the central part of the United States. St. Louis covers a lot of covers a lot of people. Kind of like how Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs, have done really well recently. It's like, well, Kansas City isn't that big of a city, right? But it covers the middle part of the United States, which can cover a lot more people, including like St. Louis and parts of like Arkansas and Kansas, areas of Missouri, and that kind of thing. Okay, so getting back to the whole ownership thing. So it's like this. You say have a team, and we call it Risers Renegades. Okay, they're in the NFL, along with the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, the New York Jets, the LA Raiders, and all of these teams. If the Risers Renegades, you can Bowl, everybody in the league gets $1 million. If the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl, everybody in the league gets $1 billion. You think everybody's going to want, even if it means that your team isn't going to do well.
That's for none of the players.
Kind of through merchandise sales. So basically, no, they're not. But it means that there are more opportunities for players on a single team to get endorsement deals. If their teams are doing really well, that means more cameras are going to be on them. There'll be more coverage on them. That means that the average endorsement is going to go high. So let's say Risers Renegades win the Super Bowl. You don't have any big time players. Well, the average endorsement for any team might be $100,000. But if it's the Philadelphia Eagles or the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce got $20 million for Pfizer. And that meant everybody whose endorsement deal who had an NFL player, it all went up. So they started making 5/10 of millions of dollars when previously they weren't making that much. But because it's like a rising tide lifts all ships, that old saying, when you have one player starts making a lot of money, everybody starts making a lot more money. So anyway, do I think that the players are involved? Let me see here. Now here's another issue that occurs. Do you know what happens? I'm not going to quiz you on this. You may not know, but basically, let's say you're turning on a call in a game and you have a conference afterwards. You're not allowed to mention the rest. You're not allowed to mention that play, or you get fined like $20,000 for first offense. Now, $20,000 may not seem that much, but it is because if you know that rookie is $20,000, then you do 2 years at $20,000. Third year, it keeps doubling basically. So correct. Correct. But they used to. And that quote unquote brought down the integrity of the game. So when people started to doubt that the results were not big, people started to doubt the game and think that the results were big. Less people were watching. So there was collusion. Well, and what they've done in recent years, at least the last 10 years or so, they immediately bring someone in who's a former referee to why this was the correct call. So it's you don't have somebody in there saying that this is the incorrect call. You never have that. Immediately they have someone, usually if it's the NFL, they say call it New York, who says why this, and they're former referee, and they say why this was the correct call. They'll say there's reasonable, like, it's not indisputable, or they'll say like there's not enough evidence to overturn the call. This is the right call, and then it's to convince the masses that are watching it. Oh, well, we got it right. When in reality, they're in cahoots with the front office of New York, of the NFL, that's basically saying to them, toe the line. There's another thing that they do. I didn't know a lot of this, but it's in a book called The Fix Is In by Brian Tilley. And it basically made a career out of explaining to fans how all of their favorite sports are rigged, especially the draft of them. And so, like, one of the things that he'll say that they do is, let's say we want, this time we want risers renegades to do really well. And so it's your year. Basically, all of the big teams have won. Now we want you to do well. What do we do for your team? Well, here's what we do. For the game, they show highlights to the referees of what they want called. And so everything that will help you and your little risers, like maybe home penalties for you guys, like allowing you to do more holding, or maybe things that you guys do, like pass interference, don't call it on you. Basically, they make these compilations of clips to show to the referees, and while they don't say that they tell the referees how to call the game, if the referees want to start calling playoff games, which pay more, and then eventually the Super Bowl, they have to have they're all judged. They get scorecards after each game of how they did, and if they don't do what the NFL told them to do, then they get bad scores, and then they don't get to do playoff games and the Super Bowl. And so they all want to get as good scores as they can. Does that make sense? The big one is baseball, because they have something now that it's the balls and strikes. It's like the automated umpire or something like that. And after each game, they judge what the umpires get. And like even the best umpires probably get like 90% of the calls right. Eventually, they're going to get rid of the umpire. Right, because the umpires, they don't want to. They call it the human touch of the game. They don't want to get rid of them. But in reality, sometimes these umpires are rigging the game for a certain team because they know who they want to go. So, like, basically, the umpires aren't dumb. They know that the New York, the LA teams, and some of these big market teams are more lucrative. Exactly. Especially when it comes to television value. So that's why, who played in the World Series last year? Los Angeles. That's what they want to happen. Well, they do that too. The big one with pitching, and they're starting to catch guys do this. So they have things called prop that are like bets that you can do on FanDuel or any of these that are like really specific. So instead of just doing like, I think that the Yankees are going to win, or I think that it's more, I think the first pitch of the pitcher is going to be a ball. And then all they have to do is get to that pitcher and say, look, you don't have to lose the game. You don't have to hurt anybody. Your statistics aren't going to be bothered. All we need you to do is throw a ball on the first pitch, and you're going to get $10 million. These, especially like cartels and stuff, they will go to these players who are not from the United States and threaten their families, things like that. Especially if they come from Latin American countries. And so there is a pitcher who's gotten in trouble for it recently. Exactly. They did a compilation of this one pitcher, and like all his first.
Oh, that's yeah.
Exactly. And he was throwing the ball like in the grass, like on his first pitch. And the reason why, and the reason why he was throwing it like way away from the batter is because a lot of times the batter wants to swing the bat anyway, so he's just going to swing it anyway. And so to ensure that it's a ball, he throws it in the grass. So, like basically, and so he
bet on like they're the I think it's on so many
do, and they absolutely do. And this into there's something called point shaving. Let's say we have your team, Riser, Renegade, and you guys know that you're going to beat Zoots. You guys know that you're a better team. So what we say to you guys is, look, you guys know you're going to win. Just don't win by as much. It's called point shaving. So normally you would win by 20 points. You'd win a basketball game by 20 points. We just need you to win by 10 points. You win, you still win the game, and we win because we're going to bet on you to win, but not by so much.
Yeah, there's a basketball player. Player with shooting like they keep like they're like, Fred, don't take the shot, and they literally caught him.
Right. And I think it was, I could be wrong, but like he needed more points as an individual. They do these process where like the individual needs like 20 points to make the spread, or like to break even. So they need to score more. There's something like that. But yeah, so there in
The first thing though with like the cartels, higher right.
yeah, so
Really down like not many people like $millions.
yeah, so what they do is they say if the numbers aren't, let's say it's 10 to 1, people who think that the strike is going to be the first pitch, 10 people to every one person. Well, that means it's attractive for anyone who thinks that it's going to be a ball because they're going to make $10 if they just bet $1 and it's a ball. Does that make sense?
Like,
Exactly. I had a guy do it in here tonight. He watched the Minnesota Vikings game, and he saw that if the Vikings won, he would win 4-1, and he bet on it, and he won. So here's how the casinos money. They don't make money whether it's 10 to 1 or 1 to 10. They make money on what's called the juice, and the juice is the fees that the player has to pay to be able. Usually, it works like this. Let's say it's 10 to 1. If it's going to be a, it will be like it will be like maybe 10 to 2. They'll change it, so it'll be like 11 to 1. Make it 11 to 1 instead of like the real odds are 10 to 1. I mean, it's really like this. Okay, if you wanna bet, you have to bet $10 to $1, and if you win, you're gonna win $10, or you're gonna win $1, but you had to put up $10. However, if you lose, you have to put up an extra $1, and that's called the juice, the cost of making the bet. Usually, you don't pay juice on the winning bet. just the losing bet. So how does that work? Basically, to make that 10-1 bet, you really have to make a little bit bigger of a bet. So instead of betting $100 to win $10, you have to bet like $120 to $10. And if you win $10. If you lose $120, and the house keeps $20 either way, whether it was a ball or a strike that shoots. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how these places get really. That's how they always win. So basically, even when there's a situation where like everybody's betting really heavy on Team A, they just make the odds better for Team B, and it doesn't matter to them because in the end, they're just going to make money on the teams. They just want to learn. That's what they do. So there were some scandals about this in college basketball many years ago with point shaving, and then in the NBA, there was they always call him. This could be this guy's fucking name. Disgraced NBA referee Tim Donahue. But basically, there was a referee in the NBA who got caught. He got caught rigging games for teams. He was betting on games, and he came out and said, "I wasn't the only one doing it. In fact, I was doing it less than most of the other referees, especially the live referees. Because here's what happens: imagine you're a referee and you make $100,000 a year. It used to be that. Now it's more like $200,000 or $300,000 a year. They have to pay you guys really well. But you're standing next to a guy who's earning $40 million a year. You start to get jealous of that guy. And so you start to think, you know what? If I just start making some properly placed bets here or there, I'm going to be a better life. And maybe I won't be making $40 million a year, but maybe I could make $4 million a year. Does that make sense? Yeah. So what they do is, at least what he was doing, you have a bookie. Basically, he was working with a partner who was basically who had like mafia ties, and they would know that a certain player was hurt because they literally hear the guy on the bench, in saying like my hand hurts or whatever. And then the next night, they just would make sure that they would bet, keep bet that guy wouldn't have as many points as normal. They just they had a lot of insider information, but then also they had situations where they just were like they would know that the NBA, like the NBA likes to make money, and so one of the things the NBA really likes is when games go to 7 games. And why is that? It's usually a best of 7. So if a team wins 4 games, it's the first team to win 4 games. Well, if they sweep the first 4, there are only advertisements that are 4 games. However, if the game goes to 7 games, that's 3 more, additional games where they can show advertising and ticket sales. So let's say you're a referee, you know that it's in the NBA's best interest for this game to go 7 games. So you might bet that a certain team might win in 7 games. You know that that'll be good for the NBA and everybody will want that. So you'll tell your bookie, that we want the Lakers in 7. And the reason why is it's going to be good for the NBA to extend this as long as possible. Does that make sense? That's true. Not different than some of the American sports. No, it's not as big. There aren't as many eyes on it. Simple as that.
Yeah, but I don't know how so different sports but
calculate. I can tell you this: it is an outlier amount of how many games are one home team. And you might say, well, that's just because they're crowd yelling for them and things like that. You might think that, but it actually it makes a lot more money when a home team wins because of the restaurants and the hotels and the parties that go on afterwards. Like if a home team wins, huge party in whatever city that is that night. If they lose, nobody goes out, everybody goes home. So there's a major. I mean, that means that people don't buy jerseys for their kids, and they don't do autograph signings afterward, and all the other things that these teams do. All that stuff. Exactly, all that stuff. So it is in their best interest for them. Let's look at that statistic.
Also, the refs are more
Right. Yeah, because they don't want to get tripped from the fans and all that. Statistically, in the NBA, do we go to 7 games more often than they would if not being influenced? Okay. If we consider an NBA playoff series going to 7 games, now they say it's not significantly influenced, but what is significantly? Um, so, so since the inception of the NBA, 155 Game 7 have been played. The occurrence of Game 7 determined the outcome of Game 6. Let's see here. Statistical analysis of the best of 7 series across American sports, including the NBA, shows no single game other than the 7th is more important than another at the time of the series. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that of it going. I think we can track. I can do this. Can you please put of all the series, what percentage of each have gone to game 4, game 5, game 6, and game 7? I love how fast it is. Like, this would take so long to do normally. Okay, so here we go. 4 game series sweeps. Like, wouldn't we expect it to be 25% each, right? Okay, so 4 game sweeps, it's 16.5, so it's low, like really low. 5 game series is 26.2, 6 game series is 31.5, and 7 game series is 25.7. Now, there's another issue with this. If you take it to 7 games, there's a chance that the team that you don't want to win could win if the other team has a bad night. So just getting it to 6 games is really important for the NBA. It's extra money. So for me to see that 31.5%, that's 6.5% more than we would expect. Does that make sense? So basically, yeah. So it does look like it's affected a little bit, especially Game 6, and that makes sense because it's like this. Look, let's say it's a really good team. It's Risers are going to game. You guys are really good now against Zoot. Okay, as the NBA, you could say, look, we want to have as many tells as possible, but we still want Risers Renegades to win. They would normally win in 4 games. Well, if we push it to 6 games, we still have the ability of Risers Renegades to win, you'll still be able to sell them, and that's the best of both worlds. Because if we get to 7 games, you never know. Zoot's team may win, and then that's going to be on the back end because we're not going to sell as much because his isn't a draw. That's actually the big number is 30.5. It's 6.1% higher. And the other thing that's interesting, 0.5. That's almost 10% less than we would have expected. It's 8.5% less. Significant amount. I'm glad you looked it up, Bryce.
You could always decide on the game now.
Right. I think another thing that has to do with this is how they do the home and home. Like usually they do, depends on the league, but they'll do 2 home games, 3 away games, and 2 home games. Does that make sense?
Two.
No, 2, 3, 2.
Oh.
So basically, game 6 means that we're going to be able to sell out of that we don't have to risk a game 7 of like losing. We have the home team win. And it also helps explain in the 4-game sweep. Usually, that team they're gonna sweep on the road, and it's not as big of a celebration if they sweep on the road than it is if they win at home. Nobody wants to win a championship when their team's not in town. They want their team to win. They can celebrate. The bars will all be big. The mascot, the whole thing. Now, it doesn't always work that way, but a lot of times does.
Like, just wondering, like, just based on like that knowledge of like the games that go to E6, like I'm wondering what other like patterns have changed and normally statistics could like that there are out there that would like basically give you an edge of
I would love to deep dive into this with you. You just give me a moment to answer. Thank you. Right. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Um,
the whole query or like I gave and then like oh like yeah, like stuff that's part of that
water.
yes, your answer. So, water. Explain to me like what water.
Yeah. So Watergate is the name of the hotel complex in Washington D.C. corridor, and during the 1972 presidential election, there was a break-in at this hotel, and it was the headquarters of the Democratic National Convention, or the Democratic National Committee, and there were these quote-unquote burglars that stole some information, basically to help Nixon get elected. And Nixon didn't do anything about it, but he did get in trouble for the cover-up. And then since then, any kind of any kind of event that has any kind of doesn't mean gets the term gate added to it, the suffix, uh, and so the employee gates when I get on those things what you said. And then yeah, I believe had to do with I mean we'll just video so I get the right information. What information was stolen during Watergate from the Democratic National Committee? Can you hear me? Excellent. Sorry. Excellent. Can you hear me? So it was political strategy, opposition research, failed planted bugs, listening devices, phone calls. Does that answer your question?
What
Excellent.
other case are you aware of?
Um,
Iran case.
yeah. So yeah, you look at what's normally known as a rock contract. There was a it was in the 80s where under the Reagan administration, basically there was an agreement to arm what are called the Sandinistas in Latin America. They were like a guerrilla opposition force um, in exchange for um, also arming the Iranians and there was also arguably a lot of cocaine that was being done at the same time. Um, how it really went down, I think, was the Latin American countries would sell or like give the United States cocaine. The United States would give to those Latin countries, and then also give them to Iran as well. In the uh, in the years after the Iranian Revolution. So engaged in Nicaraguan Contras. Any communist rebels fighting left and east of the river. Okay, so they gave it a Contra. So they were fighting through the Bolin Amendment. So it was armed for hostages. Senior U.S. officials secretly sent weapons to Iran through intermediaries. The idea Iran would pressure Hezbollah to release American hostages in Lebanon. Profits from the arms sales were not fully accounted for and became the funding source of the second operation. And because Congress banned U.S. funding of the Contras, Reagan administration officials diverted money from the Iran arms sales to secretly finance the Contras. That one, so what else? They had gates. There's been Dressgate. Dressgate was one of them, with the Monica Lewinsky dress, allegedly. Um, there was the media likes to use it for things that aren't that serious, but sometimes they'll blow them up to serious things. Like Spygate's a perfect example. Spygate sounds like something having to do with real spies. No, it had to do with Baltimore. When there was, did this get called a gate? Okay, so there was one. I don't know what it was called. What happened with the New Orleans? They were tapping into their opponents' headsets. What was that called? Bounty Gate. Oh yeah, Bounty Gate. So Bounty Gate was when the New Orleans Saints were caught running a bounty program. Players were rewarded with cash bonuses for injuring military players and knocking them out of games. That's the scandal the Saints are infamous for. Uh, they also did they tapped their opponent's headsets as well. So here we go. The Saints have had allegations of equipment and communication misconduct, but there's no major proven scandal. So at the time, there was. I mean, I wouldn't know about it if there wasn't something. They were caught intercepting opponents' headsets in the same way Patriots Spygate case went down. Some fans have speculated about headset gate incidents in the Superdome. Coaches complaining about headset malfunctions in playing the Saints, but this was never proven or formally named. And also, so they could just tap into their opponent's headsets. That was the big thing. They won the 2007 Super Bowl when the Saints have historically been a really bad team. So people have gone about this. It was also right around Hurricane Katrina. They won it like the year after Hurricane Katrina, which is like very.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good.
Absolutely. All right. Are you ready to play some carom?
Uh,
All right.
I have one.
Absolutely, big dog.
Earlier, I was talking about the ultra.
Right.
I know a bunch of information that's classified. Obviously, we have to speculate on classified CIA operation, but what even will here that's
Sure. Well, the ones are the ones that the big ones are the ones that are still classified.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, so there's Project Mockingbird, which involves the media and like the brainwashing of the masses through the mass media. So um, that's also by like integrating CIA operatives in Hollywood and in news to make the media essentially an arm of the government and no longer like an independent truth teller, and also make movies that are very positive towards the United States government. And the way that they do this is they say to a director, hey, you can use all of our planes, you can use our aircraft carriers, you can use our submarines, which are normally really expensive to produce on a movie set. You can use all of them for free. The only catch is this: we get final draft power on the movie, meaning that we can cut out anything in the movie that we don't like. And also, we want to have somebody on the set as a consultant. And so you'll get a movie like Top Gun Maverick that normally would cost like way more money than it did, even though it was really expensive. Uh, but in exchange, the U.S. government is on it, and they make everything look really cool. This was done for the movie Top Gun, and specifically, it was done a lot. It was done on Independence Day. It's done on all kinds of movies. It's done G.I. Jane, and these are just the ones that I know and think. Transformers, um, things like the Marvel movies. All of those, if they show um, any kind of military equipment, generally they had to get that from somewhere. It's from the United States government, and so that's a big part of it. There was another thing with like Disney movies and Project Mockingbird, like Aladdin. Aladdin, like the face of Aladdin was Tom Cruise's face, and even though he was darker, and like it was supposed to be like a less like young, good-looking boy against like these Middle Eastern terrorists, like guys like with these big sabers and bad teeth and fat, and that's kind of. Have you ever seen the movie Aladdin? Well, like exactly. Well, yeah, Magic Carpet, but like Jafar looks very much like Osama bin Laden, even though they were in separate times. It's very easy to like make somebody look like that kind of villain. And um, you, yeah, it's a cartoon. You have an invitation. Are you going to accept? Or are you just going to J or? I understand if you're paying attention with them. Um, so that's really big. And then there's also Project Monarch. So there's Project Mockingbird, and then there's Project Monarch, which is like this thing to program American youth. Not all of this is declassified, but these are legitimate things. You can look them up. So Project. Are you sure? I just sent it 3 times. I've sent it 3 times. You don't have any of them? You're the writer, right? Okay, let me try another one. Just a moment. I'll try a new game. Uh, Random. Do you want to play classic or freestyle? Classic. All right, do you have an invitation now?
I found one.
Okay. So then there's this thing called Project Monarch, which is like based on like 1960s knowledge of the monarch butterfly, and it like specifically affects the youth of America through symbolism. So like there's this plan to make women very cat-like using like leopard print and like cheetah print and um and it sexualizes them basically. And for boys, it's to there's a lot of effeminization, like making boys. One time it was like to make boys like GI Joe like and like war and stuff, but they've changed liking like dolls and effeminizing boys. With women, there's a thing um, um, in music to like cat ears. You've seen like e-girls wear cat ears. And it's like, where the fuck are they getting this? Why do they wear these cat ears? That's part of Project Monarch, or it's called Monarch Programming. And oh yeah, there are like other symbols that they use, like the big one is butterflies and cats, and like it's on all kinds of little girls like toys and stuff. Like oh, this would be one of the greatest shots I've ever had. Oh, that would have been sick. Um, what a, definitely. So, what are the symbols that they use for children? Rainbows. Not just children, but like girls particularly. Cheetah print is really, really big. Um, in like leopard print, any kind of cat print, and
Is there anything that me like sexualizing about a bird print?
yeah, it makes them like very docile. Like um like basically like you know how a cat just like crawl up into your lap and you can pet it? It's the same that is being done to women, basically making them not like strong and also sexual.
As the sniper
Yeah,
as a
yeah, and also like we'll look up all the names over, but like it makes girls not as like strong and independent. It like makes like a cat is like very um like it like licks itself and needs an owner to like take care. Like it's independent. Um, it is like it'll sit in your lap and it wants you to. It's like you want women to be strong, independent. They shouldn't be animals. They're not animals, but it makes them subconsciously into animals. And like butterflies are like normally like they start as like caterpillars and then they blossom into like butterflies. And there's this idea that like if you got credit for that.
Oh, shoot. Just wanted to see. Shoot, guess what? I told Riser your joke about God with Down syndrome, and he thought it was really.
Yeah, that's really funny because it's so obvious that he has autism that like you'd be like, holy shit, if you had cancer, and she died, you go to heaven. What has Down syndrome? You'd be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But if you die and you have autism, you'd be like, oh, fuck. I mean, they
And what was your Kanye West joke?
Kanye, what?
You had a Kanye West joke.
Oh, Kanye, I said Kanye doesn't even realize that I feel like Kanye was thought I did something that's retarded with is that the one here that was bust off like Jewish
That's what it was, which would be autism.
Imagine like
And I also said, Zoot, how proud I was of you for doing stand-up comedy, which, by the way, did you do yesterday?
I wanted to record up my friend like wait, let me make habit of going every 2 weeks.
Well, wasn't that every 2 weeks there?
No, that was a week.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. Zoot, I'm about to send you a mini invitation. And Zoot, I told all your stories, but I did it like I tried to make you look good in them. I told your story. I told your story about when you the other day where you saw your boss and you told him off, that guy who owned that company, and you told his girlfriend that he's in a bad relationship, all that stuff. And I even said, wait, Zoo, what did you tell him? Didn't you tell him, you told his girlfriend that, like, their relationship isn't going to last because she's with a scumbag? There you go. Go Zoo. Zoo, that's like a movie.
If you come up $1,000 then you're probably fucking.
There you go.
You act like your Instagram says that you're a millionaire online and you want $1,000 for a week's fucking.
Right. And what did his girlfriend say? Or what did you say to his girlfriend?
That's what I said.
And didn't you say that their relationship wasn't going to work out?
I said I'll give him 3 months and separate.
Go Zoo. And I was
If you had money, Rabbi, why is it?
right. That's a good question. I was just really proud of you, Zoo, and I think that you had a lot of courage to do a lot of the things that you're doing recently. So good on you, Zoo. Did you just whisper second time?
I said, that's not funny. That's not obviously.
What did you say the first time? What did you say the first time?
First time I do it,
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry. I don't even think you're trans. I just think you're like here good buying as a trans person because you're like saying trans women things. I noticed that you said you're gay.
trans, that would be straight.
Look at you, Riser. Look at you.
Straight. Wouldn't it?
Oh, I don't understand it. I don't know.
You sure female male trans are dating trans or straight?
If you're female to male, trans, and you're dating a male, doesn't that mean you're gay?
No, it's male female.
Okay, so he identified as a female and he was dating men. Yeah, that would mean for sure.
No, that was the same. No gay. So wouldn't that make you straight? I used to make you the same trans.
And what was their response? Zoot is just going to become the greatest politically incorrect comic of all. He just tells it like it is.
In reality, I just think that makes me feel but I'm not going to say that. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not your fault. It's not your choice.
What are you going to do, right?
Elon Musk is the funniest company. The most outcomes the funny.
Yeah, I think they're good.
I mean, the funny outcome in life, you die and God has nothing. It would make sense. It would make sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
How would it make sense?
Yeah.
If I make it, and if I make it and Zoot makes it, that will be hilarious. Oh, no, just make it Zoot. Actually, I don't want Zoot to make it. Don't make it Zoot. Don't make it.
If I make it, then you are right.
No, I don't. So that means that I can't win outright.
Yeah, but you are right.
Yeah, but I wanted to win outright.
I want to buy it.
Guys, are you ready for this shot?
6 months ago.
Oh, I thought that was the last hole. I hate I hate this hole.
Garbage.
We can all tie. If Raza fucks up his shot, we all tie.
Yep.
Oh, that was a good one. Correct.
Oh no.
As I performed.
We don't play
Let's come back.
this game that much anymore.
I am to have come back a full time.
No, that is. Game by my third. Oh, yeah.
That was
I don't. For anyone else.
Rabbi, where's my shot? Rabbi,
Massive fuck up.
Happy.
I would be proud of that shot. How close is it to the hole? Alright. You ready?
Let's like be.
You ready?
Beautiful. Beautiful shot, Riser.
Raza,
Hey, Zoot, you know what game we wanted to play with Riser? Dungeon Tales. Riser has to be the reader.
okay.
It is. All right, choose a campaign. The road. Do the road to Arrested. Do the road to Arrested. Dude, you fucked up. We'll go back. Read. Read.
First, practice on where to put characters. I'll be it is Rumble.
the country. You managed to get away.
Yeti. Utah Yetis. It's a game on a phone. It's called Play-Doh. Hey, Brandon. You remember you were asking? We were talking about you, and I said we were talking about our friend Zoot. This is Zoot. Zoot and Zoot. There you go, big dog. Excellent. Yeah, I think it's 6.5 hours on easy. Riser, are you gonna make a decision?
Are we on this?
Yeah. Riser, why don't you? There you go.
You guys want to go?
Yeah, he was. Riser, how much do you love this game?
It's a lot easier with
You got that right.
Rabbi. We might get this problem too.
Right.
Crazy that she didn't want to contest. What happens if I vote for another candidate?
No one knows. Play-Doh.
Oh,
Plato. It's on the App Store. PLAT. Zoot, heal us. Oh, I definitely died. Yeah, come back. Okay. Did you download the app, Brandon? It's called Plato. Plato.
Right there. I'll put a dragon there, dude. Oh. Talk to the fucking dragon. That's what they
It's the dice. It's the dice.
like right now.
I agree. I agree. Okay, it's APO. No, PLATO. Yeah. Yes, download that.
Zoot, calm down. Slap your Zoot. I know you don't. Somehow you did it though. Hey Riser, what do you think of my score? Riser, can I trash talk you? Okay, create an account. Okay. Add me as a friend. I'm the Rabbi. Therabi. Okay. So send me a friend request. I'm the Rabbi. Rabbi. I'm the Rabbi because
I just, oh man,
Therabi. So just the volume. You could beat Riser. No way. No way he's gonna beat you. Riser, what's it feel like to lose to Zoot? Riser, what's it feel like to lose to Zoot?
I have a new phone. I should download the
I mean, what?
downloading.
All right, way to brag, dog.
Okay, we should find out. You know what? Awesome.
What do you want to play? What is that? Okay, Brandon, add me as a friend. The Rabbi, TheRabbi. Zoot, you can only play it with 2 people. Okay, did you send me an invitation, Brandon? Right, so you know what game I want to play with you? Not right now, but perhaps in the future, is Reverse. Have we played that before? Dude, it's fun. It's fun as fuck. All right. Okay, Brandon, I'll help you at another time, and we'll get you an account and everything. All right. Um, I'm gonna put in basketball for 3 people, and Zoot, you can beat Riser again. Riser, how did you download it to your other phone? Whatever garbage you said you're gonna do. Okay, while you do that, I'm gonna help Brandon. Brandon, what's your username?
I'm saying, right now,
Okay, hold on a second. I can't understand what you're saying. I'll send you an. Brandon, check your Discord. I sent you the link. Riser, were you able to log in? You're going without us? What the fuck, dude? Hurry up.
and hearing for you. You got the little thing. All right.
Yes, we can. Okay, you've got an advantage. Go. Okay, dude, you have an invite. Yes, I did. I'll send it again. Zoot got it. Zoot got it? Right, so you have an invite. Did you get it? Okay, well, I guess we'll have to leave that one, and I'll send you another one.
It was not even funny. It's so still. It's real.
Is it easy? Is it easier on a phone? Is it easier on a phone? Zoot, get the new invite I sent you.
Done after back.
Okay. I think okay, so Riser, get out of the game. I'm gonna send a 4-person. You know what? Hold on, then we'll have Brandon. He can figure it out, I'm sure. While we're waiting on Zoot. All right, Brandon. I sent you an invitation. Do you see it? Oh, he got it right away. All right. So just watch what the riser and I do. We just flip the. You just. I think we go first. Oh no, you go first. Wow, dude, he hit his first shot as a fish. Go again. Go again. Keep going. There you go, dude. For your first time, that was amazing. You made your first shot. That's really hard to do. Now Riser's turn. He made every shot. He made every shot.
You're done.
Is it easier on your phone, Riser? That's all right. You made some.
gonna have to pray like extra. Good, pretty bad.
My second round. Where did it say it was going? Guys have invitations. Riser, what are you doing? Riser, you have an invitation. Riser, you have an invitation. Dog, it doesn't even count.
Is dude ever gonna return?
Never. He's done. Go. Brandon, you're up. Brandon, there you go. Nice wish. $8 points. You proud of that? I'm going to destroy that score. $17. That's a record. Riser, what did you think of that? Zoo, Riser, what do you think of that? That just the record before that was 14, and I just destroyed that score. Dude, I am shocked at my score. No, I missed a couple, but I got like a bunch in a row. So I'll take it. I need 7 for the record, or 8 for the record. It was the best round anybody's ever had. For sure. Dude, make the biggest comeback ever. All right, here we go. I need. Come on, baby. I got it. That's the record, 35. What up, big dog? Oh yeah, I dominated. All right, you guys have invitations. Hey, Riser. Okay, I'm just. Can you talk or no? Okay, look at balls. You know how you like back rooms? Number two. I'll wait. So look at the items. Look at the number two item. It's a back room. You see it? Somehow I have back room downloaded, and I'm gonna use it. You'll see it right now.
This is free player, by the way.
I think so. But do you see? Do you see it's a back room? Thing we always talk about. How would you like to live in a Rhode Island mall?
I would probably, if I wanted to live in full time, I'd probably have to start with and take that money from it and then wear it for birthdays too. Just so that I could work at New York prizes. Or what if we could just get the job there and then we can just apply to New York. I'm mostly care about the prize.
I would work at Pottery Barn. Because that's where that one guy worked, and the guy who was with oh, dude, you're like a baller. That was a big round, 10 points.
Figure out a new tech.
What's your technique? Do you like my broom ball?
Mindset.
Do you?
The New York Prize mindset. Manager of a New York Prize.
I'm a manager of a Pottery Barn mindset. I'm going to show you how good that is.
Now, look, I have to ball, so look at this. All right, this is. This is more red than I'll be in the every other sports in this league.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
Magnet
Dude, that glove ball thing.
I'm gonna go up to the game with like a ball bicycle helmet with a giant sign up there.
guys have invitations. But you don't even have to use that ball on every play. Just on like the place where you're passing. Brandon, you have an invitation. He got it. He got it. Still fast. Still fast. Still faster than Zoot. Still faster than Zoot. What are your thoughts on tape knurling? I agree. It's kind of just like the worst place for it. Like schools would be better than a hospital, and they still wouldn't be that good of a place.
issue I have with it. They also painted the walls. This background wall.
15 points. That's pretty good. I love it. When you get a really big score like you just know your competition basically cannot beat you. It's a very relieving point to beat. That was good though. 7.
Like a 140th, you know, there. Down
but only show it for a maximum of 11 seconds.
That one month. Never again.
And you absolutely cannot think of 3D rendering models of any kind. Instead, just have an art school rebuild it in cinder block for $25,000 when a 3D equivalent would cost $800.
Just Geisenberg, you know, white money. And chuck it into a
I want to know who came up with the ball, like the ball design, and who was like, let's have one be an apple. Let's have one be a watermelon. How about a back room? No, it literally says back rooms. It's called back room. Search for it. No, but there's a little magnifying glass in the corner. I would just say there's a magnifying glass in the corner. A magnifying glass. just in the gloves. Do you see where it says select items? There's a magnifying glass.
I screenshot of
You know, on your app where it says select items. Are you on the select items page? No, 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 no. Go to the basketball game that we were just in. Do you see this stuff? Right, and then and then in the upper right corner it says there's a magnifying glass. Under items, yeah, I'm gonna send you an invite, and I want you to read through them, and I'm gonna go through them on mine because I want to see. Don't. Oh shoot, the game starts. Okay, I'll I'll send it for 3 people next time. Go. Okay, don't go. Don't worry about it. I won't go. I won't go. Okay, I'll read through them. The first one you have is a basic. Okay, Foxy.
Circus, soccer, Bob. I know.
How did I get back room?
Like basically like no clip with my ranking score. I think is that's funny. This other guy that we ever seen with
Brandon, we'll have to check on that. I don't know what happened to him. He went to go hang out with Zoot. I like how you actually started to play this game. When I said don't go, we'll just tie. Did you find it? Riser, I have a little plan. Do you want to know what it is? I'm thinking of swimming the entirety of the Amazon. I have to be drunk the whole time, though. I ref- I ref- I refuse to do it if yeah. I completely understand that. Is that what it says?
know where to get the data from so far. No one's ever asked that question. Literally, no one knows. I can't do that. The environment,